Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, it is part 2 of my most controversial Battlefield opinions. You guys really enjoyed part 1 and you were asking for part 2, so here it is. This video is not for the faint of heart or the easily offended, such as Redditors. So, you know, if you don't like what I say in this video, I'm here to tell you that this is a disclaimer and we don't care. So, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and without further ado, let's get into the very first one. My first take in this video is probably not going to go over well in the comment section, but maybe it will. I'm actually very interested to see. I think the next Battlefield should have a Battle Royale. Now, everyone calm down. Everyone calm down. Put the knife down, all right? Put the chair down. Do not throw it at your television. Let me explain, okay? The next Battlefield should have a BR for a specific reason. It's because Battlefield needs to adapt to modern sort of needs, right? And also, I genuinely think that if the Battlefield game that releases in 2025 is successful and that's really good and attracts a lot of people to it, I think having a Battle Royale that's, you know, wonderfully executed and well made can only potentially help your game. However, it's a great risk with the Battlefield community because even me personally, I have to admit that I don't really care about Battle Royale, but I can't look past the fact that it would be unbelievably beneficial to the Battlefield franchise as a whole if they actually executed a Battle Royale correctly. Okay, so I don't think we can ignore that. I really don't think we can. There is no denying that times have changed dramatically since, you know, the Battlefield 4s and the Battlefield 3s of old. I don't know if you could release, let's say, a Battlefield 3 style game with the premium content model and have it maintain the same player base that it did back then without something like a Battle Royale. It's just such a massive attention driver for your game. And I know what people are going to say in the comment section, oh, the problem with Battlefield is that we cater to the COD kids and we change what Battlefield really was. But I think we just have to look at ourselves in the mirror a little bit because I really do think Battlefield doesn't change enough sometimes. And I think the Battlefield player base pushes back too harshly on some innovations that really have been successful in other franchises. So whether or not you agree with me about the Battle Royale, I could honestly care less. I have a feeling people are going to disagree with me quite a bit in the comment section. But I don't think you can ignore the potential benefit of a Battle Royale in a Battlefield game that is successful. My second take is maybe not even controversial, but it's going to be controversial just because I said it anyway. That's just how this is. The Battlefield player base is kind of famous for having some, let's say, less than stellar players, and that's totally fine. That's really not a hot take. And that's, again, completely fine. Every single game has that. Except they kind of are abnormally bad. For instance, I had a game today where I was on stranded defense and I got 87 kills and 10 deaths. Now, obviously, you can't expect everyone to have a stellar performance. However, when I say my teammates weren't even shooting at people and going double negative, like 10 and 22, like 2 and 10, you know, 0 and 8, this sort of thing, I'm dead serious. Battlefield players, as of recent, are literally the worst FPS players I've ever seen in my entire life in any game. They don't shoot anyone. They don't. It's unbelievable. And on top of that, they call me toxic for pointing it out. Now, I might be toxic in some regard, but we're playing a game about literally killing people. So I think we can all agree as adults that this is a fair conversation to have, right? And furthermore, I think the Battlefield community values the completely wrong things in FPS games. For instance, if you go to even Call of Duty or any other FPS community, and I mean any, you can talk about certain things such as visibility, such as certain mechanics in the game, such as how the movement feels and some of the mechanics of the movements and the visual recoil and how the recoil works and all that sort of stuff. And, you know, there might be some bad takes, but generally they can have more of a conversation about it. Whenever I talk about like, oh man, I wish the movement was better, people are literally talking about like the completely wrong things in the Battlefield community. They'll be like, I wish the smoke grenade effects were prettier. 2042 looks terrible, which it doesn't, by the way. Or they'll say something funny like, these gun sounds are so bad. It's like, okay, the gun sounds in 2042 aren't good, but is that really the priority you're focusing on here? You're not focusing on the fact that the mouse input is broken, or the vehicle design being like the worst ever in the franchise. I guess my overarching point here is the Battlefield player base has some of the worst priorities I have ever witnessed from a community. And people like me that try to, in my opinion, bring light to the real issues get an abnormal amount of pushback for even mentioning the real issues. Like, they don't even accept the fact that these are real problems, and they just call me a crybaby. I've never seen it happen in another community. Like, for instance, I'll put up a screenshot on the screen right now. There was this guy on Twitter that commented on a tweet that I put out where I got killed by a blatant spawn beacon bug. I'm sure you guys have died to it too. This guy spawned on a spawn beacon that I destroyed. And I complained about it, rightfully so, because your game is broken and you should fix that bug. This dude just called me a crybaby for it. Like, are we looking at the same clip? What are you talking about? Why are you focusing on calling me, like, why are you saying I'm whining when you can just, hey, acknowledge, like, hey, yeah, they should probably fix that. That was bullshit. So maybe that's like controversial, that whole thing is, but I don't really think it is. And for my last controversial take, which I'll just say up front, this is not controversial. Battlefield should take the game way more seriously. And what I mean by that is not having a competitive mode in a modern FPS game is such a missed opportunity. I don't even know where to begin. First of all, let's start up with the fact that EA is like a multi-gazillion dollar company. They could easily throw up 100 grand for a tournament. Teams would show up. I fucking promise you. I promise you teams would show up. All right. There is no excuse at all as to why you can't take Rush, polish it, and then make a ranked playlist like 5v5 Rush, something like that, right? Leave it cross-play. You can still have all the casual modes. None of you have to play this mode. None of you have to play it. Only the people that are interested would be playing it. And I always find it funny that Battlefield players claim Battlefield is a sandbox and you can do whatever you want. And they call me toxic for calling modes like Rush XL dumb. But whenever I suggest Battlefield should have a competitive mode, people insult me as well. They're like, oh, that's so dumb. Battlefield's not competitive. Well, I've won money competing in Battlefield, so I don't know what the hell you're talking about. It can absolutely be done. They tried it in Battlefield 1. They were idiots with how they did it with a separate client and all that sort of stuff. They tried it in Battlefield 4, and they got as far as ESL. I'm not saying we need to go to like ESL levels. Just have the option for your players to at least make competition for themselves, because people like me will stream that competition and it'll get your game attention. Even if you're not putting up a prize pool, it's still positive attention. It's still interesting to a community of people. I remember when I streamed the Battlefield 2042 tournament, the very first one, and actually the only one that ever happened in Battlefield 2042, and I had 1,000 viewers. 1,000 viewers for a Battlefield stream. Competitive. I'm just saying. I think it's laziness, and it's a massive missed opportunity to not have a competitive mode in modern FPS games. So, hey, and to be honest, I don't really care what anyone says about that. I am right. I don't care. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, join the Discord, follow me on Twitter. I stream every single day at twitch.tv/enders. Leave your thoughts below, and I'll see you guys in the next one.